if he has ASD level 1, he's going to have anxiety because he will have, to some degree or another, some mind blindness. He's going to have some degree, sometimes it's worse in others, not so bad in others, it's a mixed bag. Some degree he's going to have some emotions blindness. He's going to have some executive function deficits. He's not going to have all of them, but he's going to have more than one. And he's going to have some sensory sensitivities. There's another thing that I don't talk about too much called weak central coherence. So anyway, there's numerous challenges that come with the disorder, all of which create anxiety. And so this generic he, hypothetical he, will find a lot of anxiety reduction strategies. Some of them are functional, some of them are not functional. But he does engage in a lot of anxiety reduction attempts. For example, spending extensive periods of time on his special interest is a huge de-stressor for him. Due to anxiety, he may slip into a meltdown or a shutdown, or he may engage in false agreement, which is, yeah, you're right, yeah, okay, yeah, whatever you want, just for him to get the conversation over with, or he may just have an adult temper tantrum. So there's the anxiety due to the things I just listed, the traits of the disorder. Then there are his anxiety reduction attempts. Then the next step in this series of things, most of his anxiety reduction attempts cause relationship problems. So there's 3 steps now. Then she wants to have the talk, wants to work on it. She has a message to deliver. If she's not sensitive to the traits, especially if she doesn't even know about them. The talk, we need to have a talk. Now we're at step 6, it increases his anxiety. And then the cycle starts all over again. Due to mind blindness, emotions blindness, executive function deficits, anxiety, etc., he feels very confused in the marriage because he can't keep up with her social and emotional intelligence and needs and skills. He feels very insecure due to his inability to make her happy and to keep the peace and so on. So he feels very unsafe in this marriage. This causes anxiety. He tries to reduce his anxiety. His anxiety reduction techniques cause relationship problems. And the relationship problems raise his anxiety, and then he feels even more unsafe. So the whole point of this little conversation here is, at any point along the trajectory there could be some type of intervention. Anxiety is the first thing that happens. So there are a ton of anxiety reduction strategies. If you tackle that first thing, the anxiety, and he finds some anxiety reduction strategies, now he's not engaged in some of the more dysfunctional anxiety reduction attempts that cause relationship problems. So now you've intervened at the very front and tackled the second and third step in the sequence. So if the relationship problems are greatly reduced, then she doesn't have to have the talk as much. So now his anxiety is not increased as much. And so the cycle doesn't start over as frequently. And then when it does, it's not as severe. That's the big goal. That's usually what happens when everybody's working the program, is this cycle occurs less frequently, and then even when it does, it's less intense and problematic and lingers not quite as long as it did back in the day.